Processed foods are one of the main reasons why people all over the world are getting fat and sick. How do we know? Well, every time a population adopts a Western diet high in processed foods, they start to get sick. In this video, we're looking at 4 reasons why that happens. Just to clarify, some food processing can be beneficial, such as pasteurizing or adding vitamin D to milk. But when I say processed foods here, I'm referring to any alterations to a food or its ingredients that either removes health promoting components, such as fiber or phytochemicals, or adds in harmful components, such as trans fats. So the term processed foods is a bit of a loose label, but I'm referring to the processing that makes foods less healthy. Processed foods tend to be low in fiber. Fiber, especially soluble fermentable fiber, has many important health benefits. One of the main ones is that it functions as a prebiotic, feeding the friendly bacteria in the intestine. This helps to keep our gut microbiome healthy and diverse. Fiber also reduces blood sugar spikes after meals and helps to curb appetite. This means we feel more satisfied with fewer calories. Unfortunately, the fiber found naturally in foods is often lost during processing or intentionally removed. Therefore, processed foods tend to be very low in fiber. Processed foods are often high in trans fats or processed vegetable oils. Vegetable oils are an unnaturally concentrated source of omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, and research now shows that this could be a key driver of oxidation and inflammation in the body. Unfortunately, they are one of the main ingredients in most processed foods. It's no surprise that in just the last half century, the amount of linoleic acid in our fat tissue, a type of omega-6 rich polyunsaturated fatty acid, has increased by approximately 136%. You can see the stark upwards trend, and this is on the back of seed oils we consume, such as soybean and sunflower oil. Interestingly, current linoleic acid content of fat tissue in Europe is about where the US was in 1970, which reflects their less processed diet. If the oils are hydrogenated, this makes them even worse because then they contain what we call trans fats, and these are undoubtedly one of the most harmful substances that we can eat. The best way to avoid highly processed vegetable oils and trans fats is not actually to avoid cooking with them altogether, because this is but a tiny fraction of our intake. The best way is to actually avoid junk foods and ready-made sauces. You'd be surprised at just how much vegetable oil these products contain. If you look on the ingredients label, you'll see that it is either the number 1 or number 2 ingredient. It requires less energy and time to digest processed foods. Food manufacturers have certain criteria for their products. They must have a long shelf life. Each batch must be consistent in how they look and how they taste. And of course, they must be very easy for us to consume so that we buy more of it. Given the way foods are processed, they are often very easy to chew and swallow. Sometimes it's almost as if they melt in your mouth. This, of course, is largely due to highly refined ingredients and the removal of fiber. Not only can we easily eat more calories when in this processed form, but we also burn less calories digesting them compared to if they were unprocessed whole foods. This is known as the thermic effect of food. One study in 17 healthy men and women compared the difference in energy expenditure after consuming a processed versus a whole foods based meal. They ate a sandwich either with multigrain bread and cheddar cheese, which was the whole foods meal, or with white bread and processed cheese, which was the processed foods. It turned out that they burned twice as many calories digesting the unprocessed meal. That means people who get more calories from processed food compared to whole food also effectively reduce the amount of calories they burn throughout the day. Processed foods are typically high in sugar. It's well known that sugar, when consumed in excess, is seriously harmful. The problem with processed foods is it makes it really easy to consume sugar excessively. This is because sugar is added to improve and increase palatability and overall taste. It's the reason low-fat products typically have more added sugar than regular fat alternatives. In fact, most aren't putting massive amounts of sugar in their tea or coffee. They're getting it from sugar-sweetened beverages and processed junk foods. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, be sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you click that big red button below the video to subscribe to the Authority Nutrition YouTube channel.